Hello there. We are live and we're watching the Arsenal versus Spurs game today. Going to be covering a few topics, obviously, while watching the game. Going to be covered, is Arteta a bottler? Who knows, maybe he will be. I think that'll very much be determined after this game. Can Spurs actually go and win the league? The five subs rule, we're having a discussion about that. And also, just generally chatting about this weekend's FPL. I've had a decent weekend this weekend so far. But if anyone watching right now has had a decent weekend or had any woes, I know Jamie Vardy literally just scored. Let us know in the comments and we'll get to it. So quickly, let's take a look at the Arsenal Spurs lineups. Just lob these in. So I really like the Arsenal lineup today. I think he's gone back to a five at the back. Playing the likes of Tierney, Saka, Bella and holding a Gabriel, I think it's a very positive move. A lot of the Arsenal fans were calling for a sort of more attacking threat from Arsenal. But it really hasn't been coming. I mean, the last three games, they've lost, drawn and lost to sides who they'd potentially wanted to be. And we just have kicked off here with what a start from Arsenal with them just kicking the ball off straight away. That's an absolutely classic Arsenal. But yeah, let's run through the rest of these lineups. So we've got Saka, Xhaka, Partey. Good to see Partey back in the midfield. Hopefully you can give them a lot more defensive coverage. And then Aubameyang, Lacazette, Willian. I mean, that front three on paper probably should be one of the best in the league. However, they're not really doing much of them. A lot of fans are calling for Aubameyang to go more through the central. I mean, it's a tough one because obviously you have Lacazette in there and he can't really go to the wing. So if you want to play Lacazette, he's got to go up front and Aubameyang's got to go to the left. And they also don't really have that much cover sort of on that left-hand side. The only player who has been playing there is Saka, and I think I do like the fact that Saka's kind of playing that left wing back. I think Saka and Bellerin really give Arsenal sort of good width on those sides, but as Spurs knit the ball back here, Son playing the ball into Kane. I mean, going on to Spurs as well, Kane potentially injured does actually start for them. They've got Bergwijn, Celso and Son, so quite an attacking team going with a 4-2-3-1. Dyer, Alderweireld, Aurier and Reguilon. Good to see Aurier get some good game time. It seems like Reguilon is very much putting himself in there as the kind of starting left back. Højbjerg and Sissoko very solid in the midfield. So let's move straight on into the game. Just bring this up here. So hopefully, if this loads, I can bring up a nice animation so we can follow the game. So that we are able to follow the game a bit more effectively. Boom, 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 boom. Da 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 da. Yeah. Yeah. Let's continue to do. There we go. We've got it loaded up. So let's transition into this. And let's watch this game of football. Jose Mourinho being shown there on screen. Jose Mourinho, a lot of people thinking, he's a deadbeat manager. He's past his time. He was seemingly like that last year. I mean, he did okay with Spurs. But this season, the Amazon Prime documentary definitely did him a lot of favours. He came across as a very brutal but also honest manager, and I think a lot of kind of people like to see that style of manager, a manager that really, really wants the team to win. And it seems like he's a decent man manager as well. Obviously, there's been a lot of problems with Dele Alli not really featuring, going into the under-23s, so on and so on. And they probably will end up offloading him. And he's a talent they've had there for a long time. But if he's not going to get on with Mourinho, I guess who's he really going to get on with? Mourinho's a classic manager who's going to go in there. He's not going to take any shit, and he's going to sort everything out. I think that's what he's done at Spurs. And if you look at the team he's got, he hasn't brought in that many players compared to the likes of Pochettino. I mean, he's brought in Doherty, who's out. Reguilon, okay, yes, he's playing, but that's like a covering left back. And Højbjerg as well. I guess he has managed to bring in Bergwijn as well. That's a pretty decent signing, I think, and obviously Bale. But a lot of the new signings, I think only 3 of them are actually playing today. That's Reguilon, Højbjerg, and Bergwijn, actual Mourinho signing. So, you know, he's just doing a lot better with the players that he is given. So hopefully, I'm hoping with the with the crowd back, we're going to see a lot more noise at this game. It's a North London derby, obviously, so it's gonna be nice that the crowd is there in support of the teams. See Lacazette here picking up a foul just outside the box. I mean, I'm really personally hoping for Heung-min Son to be the main man in this one. How far behind am I? I am currently Mr. Bond. I'm currently on the 5th minute and 30th second. I don't know, because I'm not too. I don't think I'm that far behind the actual. I might be far behind in terms of actually watching the game because I'm watching it on my phone. So I probably am like a minute behind. So if someone scored already, I'm not. To be fair, I'm not too bothered. I think the chat's maybe like 10 seconds delayed. But you know, if a player that you have scores, feel free to go mental. How are you doing this weekend, G1? Didn't manage to catch you at the deadline stream. So just wondering how you're getting on this weekend. I myself have had a decent. I captured De Bruyne after bringing him in last week. 28 points. That was absolutely wonderful. Kept on to Wilfried Zaha. 18 points total. That's going to bring. So it's been a pretty successful week. Considering no goalkeeper, no Jack Grealish. It's pretty nice to actually pick the points up. Hopefully, Sonny Boy can do something here today. That's what I'm hoping. I know a lot of people still do own a lot of Spurs assets, and very few Arsenal assets owned among a lot of people. So I'm hoping that Sonny Boy can actually end up doing something. Let's see, dangerous. I need to keep it on this page so that it keeps updating. I have to flick through onto the chat and not on the chat, so that I can actually see whether there are any comments popping up. I should probably have more tablets, because let's see. Got the game right up here. Game's looking okay so far, In these kind of games, you do want there to be some early action, if you get what I mean. A goal just to kind of liven, especially with the fans back. It would be nice for an early goal, get the enthusiasm into both teams, get a couple of crunching tackles. I guess a lot of those players out there sort of will be coming in, sort of won't have played a proper North London derby, because a lot of them have sort of come in this season or over the past season. So yeah, actually, as you can see on the screen, I'm watching the game, and on me watching the game is 8 minutes 30, and actually on the screen here it's 9 minutes 30. So I'll be able to see if anything actually goes on through here, and then I'll just watch it back on the screen. So that should be pretty good. Yeah, let me see. What minute are you in, Cheese Bob? Let us know. Not sure if I missed the Lacazette thing or not. I've been faffing about a lot. No, let's bring that. Absolute disgrace. I believe you. I believe you, Lacazette. Throwing Arsenal 10th minute. Yeah, I mean, from what I saw of, yeah. VAR needs a sorting. I mean, earlier on today, we saw a Pereira challenge. I mean, you know, although I'm a Palace fan, I can very much say if that happened to a Palace player in terms of him being sent off for that, I would be pretty aggrieved because it did completely shift the whole kind of the play of the game. West Brom were dominating us in the first half, really, and then we came out and absolutely slapped him, but mainly because they had a man sent off. But nah, that the sending off, I don't know. Everything this year is just a little bit weird, isn't it? With the decisions that are being made and. 8 minutes by the time you see this. Okay, so you're sort of you're similar to me. How has your weekend gone so far on FPL? Or is it I don't want to talk about his situation. I've had plenty of those this season so far. Currently sitting on a rank of I think 1.3 million. So, that is a hell of a question. Is Benteke an FPL option going forward? I'll tell you what. Being a Palace fan, obviously over the past three seasons, Benteke's not been great. His touch has been pretty awful. Not really getting himself into good positions. But in the game today. As Thomas Partey pops a little shot off there. In the game today, he looked okay, and I wouldn't say any more than okay. Yeah, he's got a brace, so you'd be thinking, he had an incredible game. But he was okay. Mind you, also have to think we were playing against a 10-man West Brom, who haven't been particularly good defensively anyway. With the 10th man, obviously it made it a lot easier. But he was getting himself in the correct positions. And obviously both finishes were actually pretty tidy finishes that in last season I would not have backed him to score. So it's good to see him sort of score a couple of goals, which will most likely get his confidence up, which will probably mean he starts the next couple of games. But him being a viable FPL asset, he's not guaranteed to start every game. That's the first thing out there. Like Zahari's in that left striker position, whereas that right striker position will literally just rotate based on form. And if Benteke isn't scoring, a goal a game, Jordan Ayew will probably come in, especially with the Christmas period coming up. But with Palace options mainly, I'd sort of stay clear of Palace until about game week 20 when our fixtures sort of turn back. As something just pops up on my screen here, but I'll try not to spoil anything for you. If this is what I think it is, I'm gassed. If I'm spoiling the game for you at all, Cheese Bomb, by having this on, I can change the screen, or I can just delay it a little bit so that you can sort of react to it freshly and not have anything spoil the game for you. Yeah, surely Roy won't drop him for the next year. I mean, yeah, I don't think he will get. Or as I see on my screen now, hopefully you've seen it as well. Heung-min Son with the goal. Yes. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna bring my FPL team up now, because although I've only got 9 playing players, let me refresh it because I want to see that tidy little goal pop up. I want to see this tidy little goal pop up on the FPL screen. Come on. That is a hell of a finish as well. Who got the assist for that? I mean, I don't really care, but, it's just nice to know. Kane. Is it Kane x Son? No way. That's going to save a lot of people. Did he let it off? Not? Kane x Son. What a finish, my man. I mean, I'm not bothered about Kane x Son, to be honest. But yeah, a lot of people I know that's really gonna save them. That's really gonna save them. Kane X Son. Oh, it's come up with a 1-pointer, but that's beautiful. I'll wait until it loads. Here we go. Transition. I mean, there's how my team's looking right now. Absolutely wonderful. If you can see just off the screen as well, we've got Patrick Bamford and Brewster. Bamford obviously getting the 8 points, so he's going to come on for Kyle Walker, and then Brewster will come on for Grealish. Total points I've got there off screen is 62, but then Zaha bonus points. Sonny with the goal. Let's go. Oh dear, that's absolutely wonderful news. Absolutely ruddy one. Who could have thought it? Do you own any of the Spurs? You like his? Yeah, I'll tell you what. He's got some fine boots, and Son he's one to own in my opinion. Do you own any Spurs or Arsenal assets in this game? Or is this just one to watch for you? Let me transition back into this. But yeah, it was a shame not to see you at the deadline stream. But hopefully I'll be doing another one of those next Friday. We've got a decent amount of people in. Obviously, a lot of people sort of last minute. Who should I captain? Bruno Fernandes. Who should I bring in? Is Jota good? And I mean, to be fair, it looks as though they're potentially Jota could be getting a benching from Klopp's kind of comments. So far, it seems as though from all the leaks and stuff that we're going to see a front three of Firmino, Salah, and Mane, of course. But this game so far, sort of as you'd expect, I was going to go on to is Mikel Arteta, but is Mikel Arteta a bit of a bottle of the way he's been playing? I think over the past 3 fixtures, he's definitely bottled his style of management. He changed to a 4 at the back to sort of appease the Arsenal fans, but not only were they then really poor defensively, but then they didn't have anything going forward. So if you're going to go to a 4 at the back, you need to have some creativity going forward, but they just didn't. And then they also lost that defensive structure. So it just hasn't gone well for them. And this could be a 4th game, not consecutive, but the last 4, if they lose this one, which I'd be surprised now if they don't, with how good Mourinho's sides are at just grinding out victories, especially when they go up. It'll be a fourth game for them without a win, or 3 losses and a draw. So you have Son and Kane. That's huge. Who did you captain this week? Either of those or somebody else. Son and Kane. I mean, that's been the pairing for me. I mean, personally, I think Harry Kane is just still a little bit too expensive for me. In terms of the players or the money that I could put that into in the midfield, in terms of you can get. So I think Kane's 10.9, right? So you can get Bruno for 10.9, and a 6 mil attacker like Bamford, Watkins, Callum Wilson, and I think that combination is better than say like Kane and Pedro Neto, or Kane and Ward-Prowse, if you get what I mean. But obviously, Kane, I respect anyone who has Kane because he's been absolutely smashing it, especially from the start of the season. But he's just an assist machine, and I don't mind at all if he goes and grabs another assist here. To be honest, Fernandes captain. Oh, okay, so I'm sure that was a little bit of a roller coaster for you. in the end, I feel like you can. I wouldn't feel. Obviously, I wouldn't feel happy, but I also wouldn't feel too disappointed because coming off the bench, getting an assist, and then the 2 bonus points isn't the end of the world. And sort of from all the FPL kind of captain statistics that you look at is sort of if you get above 10 points from a captain, it's pretty decent. But I guess then you look at all the other. I guess then for this game week so far, Fernandes probably has been the worst out of all the captains in terms of, you know, the five that I sort of chose in sort of my pre-match were Fernandes, Vardy, De Bruyne, Salah, and a Manchester City defender. And all of those, I mean, apart from Walker, who got benched for some reason, but I guess if you exclude Walker and just go with like Cancelo, Diaz, one of those guys, then Fernandes was the same, so 6 points for those. And then obviously De Bruyne with the 14 points. How De Bruyne didn't get more points, I don't know. Had sort of 2 1-on-1s. A little bit disappointed he missed those, but I can't be too disappointed with a 14-point captain. And then obviously Jamie Vardy just picked up a goal in that Leicester game in the last dying minutes. I was hoping that the yellow card that he got given would wipe the bonus points out, but it looks like he's on for 3 bonus points, so that'll be an 8-pointer from Jamie Vardy. But yeah, as you said, yeah, you were worried at first, but then happy with the points he got in the end. Yeah, I mean, personally, not bad. Being one of the only people that owns Bruno Fernandes, I was surprised and a little bit happy, but I always kind of knew, especially if United were struggling, which they really were. I was hoping in the first half United were going to play really well without him and he wouldn't be needed, but obviously they were struggling loads, and so as soon as West Ham scored, I was just like, okay, Bruno's definitely going to come on and potentially do something, and he easily could have got more points than he actually ended up with. So at the end of the day, I'm not actually too kind of disappointed being a non-Bruno owner, because I feel like 6 points was definitely on the lower side going into the weekend that you could sort of predict for him. But then again, also the fact that he did get benched, I wouldn't be too disappointed with that 6-pointer. And obviously you've got Son and Kane as well, who, I mean, as you say, yeah, Kane is Mr. Reliable, and he is. He will, even through bad fixtures. I mean, it's weird because we say bad fixtures, but Arsenal are a team right now looking at their form who just aren't playing well at all. So you have to argue, is it actually that bad of a fixture? Obviously, it's a bigger side, but you're playing an Arsenal side that have just lost to West Ham, lost to Villa, and drawn with Leeds. So as you've kept Son and Kane, and I was pretty confident going into this game that Son could definitely do something. Obviously, within the first 20 minutes of the game, that's come off very nicely for me. Have a look at half time actually, whether he's going to be on the bonus points. I mean, obviously, I think you're hoping that Kane X Son will be. I can see if it stays 1-0, we'll probably see Lloris or a defender on the bonus points. That's kind of how the game likes to go. I was very pleased that Zaha managed to nip up the 3 bonus points earlier. That was very tidy. But I mean, what are our thoughts on Arsenal at the minute? Because they just don't seem to be doing it. I mean, they're currently 2 points above the relegation zone. So, I mean, at what point are Arsenal fans? At what point are Arsenal fans going to be calling for Arteta out? Because they've had so much patience with him compared to other managers. But he's doing the worst out of all of them, and I think I agree with it that he needs time. I think he does need time. Plenty of not plenty of it as well. Another season or two, a good transfer window, and a bit more time to build the ethos. Because I think this whole thing of bringing in a manager for like half a season, it just doesn't work. And unless you are Mourinho, because Mourinho does get those results. He sort of has his first season, and then he has his second season where all the points come from. So not where all the points come from, where the sides tend to do very well. And as he said, that was a season that he got second with Manchester United with the team that he had, and then also you've got Spurs could easily, not easily is the wrong word, but they can definitely challenge this year for the title. I mean, they win this game, they stay top, and it's the longest period they've had at top for a long time. Arsenal seem very stale, just no creativity going forward. I'm not sure if that's because of players or tactics. No, I completely agree with Arsenal seeming stale. It seems like the front three are almost too comfortable. You know, there's no pressure on that front three because who else do they have? They've got Pepe. Well, you know, Pepe was given his opportunity, got sent off, so they kind of think, well, he's not going to be playing for a long time. They've got Willock, and Willock just is nowhere near the standard that those three, oh, sorry, that those three up top can potentially provide. Tactics wise, I mean, we saw Arteta change his tactics, go to a four at the back, go to a 4-2-3-1 like Spurs are playing today, and Arsenal didn't do anything with it. I'm gonna sort of take the Leeds game as a bit of an anomaly because when you have a player sent off for half an hour, you can't really sort of analyse that game properly from, I guess, a creativity aspect. They defended very well, so you can definitely applaud the defence there. But they've scored one goal in the last three, maybe, and maybe even the last 4 or 5 now. I mean, from open play as well, they've probably scored. They scored a header. They scored a set piece in the last game, a header from Gabriel. The game before that, they lost. It was 0-0. The game before that, they lost 3-0, and the game before that, they scored a penalty. So from open play, in the past 5 games, they haven't scored. That's really worrying signs. I think that's got to be. You say, you know, not sure it's because of players or tactics. It's got to be both, surely, because the players clearly are not for it and not playing well enough. At the same time, they're clearly not clicking with the tactics. Because a team that clicks creates chances. This Arsenal side don't shoot, they don't create, they just don't look very good going forward. And I think Arteta has definitely put a stumbling block in his road because he came in and he was like, right, we're going to sort the defence out. Okay, if you're going to sort the defence, don't then go and change your team to appease the fans. You've got to play your way. If you think defence first, you've got to build the structure and then you can build the attack. But what he's done is he's built the structure, then reversed back to try and be like, oh, we're going to be more creative. Not only were they not more creative, they were worse defensively. So now he's going back to this defensive structure, which is going to take a few more weeks to then implement in. And then after that, we'll probably see a bit more creativity because you've got to drill the players, especially the attacking players, to get back into position. And sort of when you're trying to be more defensive, you almost have to give up some of that creativity. And so reversing back like he did against the likes of Villa, Leeds, so on and so on, just to appease the fans, has sort of put stumbling blocks in this Arsenal team's progress. But I'm quite, I'm enjoying the fact that big teams this year are struggling. You know, we've got the likes of Southampton, we've got the likes of Villa, West Ham, all kind of pushing and getting in them top 4 place. I mean, it's weird because a team like Spurs, right, they've lost one game. They've lost one game so far this season. And yet, it's still so tight from 1st to like 10th. It just shows the kind of how well so many teams are doing. The fact that Arsenal are currently sitting 16th. You know, the win for Palace today took Palace from 16th to, I think, 10th or 11th. You know, these big jumps up the league, and obviously Leicester propelled themselves. I think they might have gone top, obviously, before this game was played. Now on the table, I think Spurs will be top. But I think that it's struggling times for Arsenal as we approach the half an hour mark. Let's see if the FPL score has loaded. Let's get this one up. Heung-min Son. Oh my god, I could genuinely be on for like a 90-point week this week. If this stays as it is, Son gets 11 points. This is surprisingly good week, considering I only thought I was going to be able to field 9 players, and I've only actually fielded 10. I don't have a goalkeeper for this weekend, but things have just gone rather nicely. We've got a Son there picking up the 6-pointer. It has loaded, which is rather nice, if I don't say so myself. How's the rest of your team done, Cheese Bomb? Any other sort of highlights for this weekend, or very basic? Most people have Chilwell. I don't know if you did as well, but Chilwell was a little bit disappointing not to get an attack and return. But obviously, I've got Bamford, so I think I'd rather a Bamford goal in terms of differential points than a Chilwell clean sheet, because everyone else has him. As we see. To be fair to Arsenal, they're overlapping the fullbacks nicely, which I like to see. Tierney really does sort of get down that side, along with Saka, and I think that's they have to get back into and exploit that. I think because they haven't been doing that for the past few weeks, they're sort of coming back to all a bit new to them once again. But if they can unleash Tierney and Saka down that left hand side, they can cause a lot of problems. But I also think you've got to, in this game especially, a lot of credit has to be paid to. Although Thomas Partey there, what a ball! Could this be a goal? Aubameyang, Saka, dinks it. No, it's not clinical though, is it? It's not clinical at all. Not one bit of it is clinical. Not one bit of it. We've got an injury here from Højbjerg. Whether he's actually just sort of playing for a bit of time. Just got a knock. And he's back from injury. That's good to see. Did alright, didn't have any City players, was hurt. Yeah. That's the thing. Are you planning on bringing any City players in? I think for me, as soon as I saw the fixtures, especially because I wasn't doing that great around that time. I think coming up to game week 9, 10, I was maybe like 1.7 million, 1.5 million. So in my mind, I was just like, right, City have got good fixtures, even though they haven't looked great. They're a team that can sort of sort you out if it does go well. Obviously, that's gone very nicely for me. So do you have any kind of plans? I think De Bruyne is the main one, obviously, to get in. I don't think you need to get him in, obviously, unless obviously price depending, because he definitely will be getting a price increase this week. But he's got Man United away, and Man City don't have the best record against Manchester United, especially away from home. So I don't think it's a sort of rush. If you need 2 transfers to do it, maybe hold off for this week and then bring him on the following week, because I think the West Brom fixture, you've got to have De Bruyne. In my mind, you're shooting yourself in the foot if you don't have him. The best captaincy option by far that week, I believe. Salah might also have a good fixture actually. But yeah, I think De Bruyne's one to definitely try and get yourself, or try and get your hands on, basically. It's not been a bad little game so far. I'm enjoying it. I think that this is a very Mourinho-esque performance. I can't lie. They are playing very, very well. Very, very well indeed. Doesn't really look like they're going to concede either. Okay, now all the Kane assist. Everyone on Twitter, inject the Kane assist, Son goal. Inject it indeed. This is what a game week. What a game week. It's crazy how well it's kind of going this week. It's just it's in them weeks, isn't it, when FPL where you don't expect it, you just don't. To be fair, I looked at the fixtures beforehand this week, and this was obviously before the Newcastle Aston Villa game, before that got called off, and I was thinking this could be a decent week. I was pretty confident with the players that I had, and then obviously that fixture gets postponed. So I'm like, 9 players this week. Just hope for the best. Hope to scrape over the line. Hopefully De Bruyne can carry me through. Little did I know, De Bruyne was going to smash it. Palace were going to beat West Brom 5-1. Who in the world would have thought? I thought we'd win, but 5-1. I mean, come on now. Come on now, indeed. So that's been nice, and yeah, just one of those weeks. It's been a very nice weekend, and then we've obviously still got the Southampton versus Brighton game to come tomorrow. A little bit worried about this game. I know a lot of people have potentially 2 or even 3 assets, but to be fair, a lot of what's the word? I guess they're battling assets, where a lot of people have got 1 Southampton player and 1 Brighton player, so they're sort of going against each other. I think if that game ends 0-0, a lot of people will gain a lot of points from that game. I think a 1-1 would be nice without any of the, a Theo Walcott and a Pascal Gross goal, making it 1-1. But that's a lot to dream, I think. And I guess this weekend, I can say I've dodged a couple of bullets. I mean, Bruno and Vardy still both scored, but nowhere, or both scored points, I should say, but nowhere sort of close to the amount of points that I thought they were going to get. The points can add up. So I know. I remember, because it's weird when you're in the mini leagues, and I'm looking, I'm like, top place is like 60 points clear or something, and then in literally one game week you can close like 30 or 40 points, and all of a sudden you're right back in the race. So I think week by week, if you just get a little bit of luck, like I have this weekend, then you can be you're literally straight back in it, especially from differential players like Zaha. One last season that really stands out for me was Harvey Barnes and Vardy. Barnes was like, I think it might have been against Aston Villa. Barnes was a massive differential at that time, and I had Jamie Vardy. Jamie Vardy, pre-game, news comes out, he gets benched. Oh, great. Anyway, during that game, Barnes goes and grabs, I think, a hat-trick and an assist, and then Jamie Vardy comes on and scores a brace. So I've gained, 30 or 40 points from them 2 guys in that one game. So all of a sudden, I've gone from like 5th in most of my mini leagues to like 2nd, 1st, just off of literally one game. So it's crazy when the luck's going for you, how the amount of points that can just add up, and not just little bits of luck. The absolute hauls that we've seen. We've seen the likes of Antonio last season get a quadrati, as you call it, get 4 goals in a single game, getting a 20-pointer. Players like that, it's just it all adds up, really, doesn't it? As we see a corner here for Arsenal in the 37th minute and 30th second, although I have got on the screen here the 39th minute, so I'm pretty confident that nothing's going to come off this, but maybe what's in front of me could be wrong. But not been too bad of a game so far. As Tierney whips the ball in. Arsenal are starting to look a little bit more threatening, a little bit more, but only a little bit. I still don't think it's anywhere near the attack, because if you think about Man City, you couldn't break this Spurs side down. Man City. That's another point as well. Spurs defensive assets. We currently have Eric Dyer sitting at 4.9 mil. I think that he's only going to get 6 points realistically, but you can easily see Lloris going and grabbing the Golden Glove this year because of how Mourinho likes to set up his teams, style of play. They're going to be keeping loads of clean sheets, and for 4.9 mil, considering all the other kind of expensive options, Considering Lamptey's now 4.8, Justin's now 4.9 mil. I think Eric Dyer looks a great option because in it, especially because with those players like Lamptey, Justin, the only time they're really likely to get clean sheets are against the smaller sides. Maybe they'll pop up with a clean sheet against a bigger side now and again, but you'll probably be rotating them anyway. Whereas Eric Dyer, literally, he looks like they look like they can keep a clean sheet against pretty much every single team in the league. So we could because was it a Mourinho side, the Chelsea side, 2012 they conceded like 18 goals or something ridiculous like that, like unbelievable. So you can, with the way this side is playing, obviously this now begs for Arsenal to go and bag like 4 goals in this game. But the way the Spurs side are playing, you can easily see them picking up plenty of clean sheets. I'd like to personally work Eric Dyer into my team, but with the money that I need to bring in a Bruno Fernandes for Jack Grealish, unfortunately, it's so close. I think I've got 4.7 million to spend on a defender because I'm going to be getting rid of Kyle Walker and Cancelo. But you just don't know which one's going to play. There's no point in having 2 expensive defenders when they're only going to play every other week. I think I'm going to keep them until the West Brom game. And then, yeah, they're both going, because if they're not going to play every game, then there's no point in wasting all that money on them when you can get a player like Fernandes who can come off the bench and get 6 points. But I think Eric Dyer definitely looks like a gunner to bring into your team. You know what, we're closing in on half time, and I reckon I may actually go and watch the second half on a big screen, just sort of take it in a bit more. I think it's going to be a good second half, just so I can relax and enjoy that a bit more. Obviously, we've still got another 5 minutes to go. Something could happen here. It's been very good to talk to you, Cheese Bomb. Hopefully, you can join myself, Owen, and maybe hopefully Elliot next Friday for a discussion. Actually, we might be doing a live stream. I've been talking with Elliot, and we might be doing a live stream sometime during the week. It'll be sometime during the evening, but I will try and keep people. I'll probably I'll post on Twitter actually what I'm doing. But yeah, I'm trying to do we might just do a general podcast just discussing this weekend, sort of previewing the coming game week, or the next game week, game week 12, and then obviously next Friday we'll be doing the classic deadline stream as well. But as we see this half closing out here with 3 minutes to go, Andre Lacazette winning a free kick just outside the box. But yeah, if we're going to say, can Spurs win the league? I mean, if the second half is anything like this first half, then I'm going to say yeah. I'm going to say yeah. They look solid, good going forward, clinical. As we said, that Son goal was unbelievable. Like, there's only a few players in the league who could do that, especially at this point in time. There are only a few players in the league who could do that. As we see, is it Lacazette's going to take this free kick? I don't believe that he'll score this. I don't believe. No. Gone for a corner though. There's potential. There is potential. Shot blocked. I think my phone's actually caught up with this on screen. It's quite nice. stuff. Go on. They whip the ball in. Lloris. Oh my word. Kane just cutting across Lloris like that. Heads the ball out. Fair enough. Willian whipping the ball in. Easy out. Spurs on the counter attack here. Can they do anything? Nope. Nope. But yeah, we got the Liverpool game later. Have you got any Liverpool assets in your team? I personally own Salah, hoping he can do something. Obviously, if he starts, that'll be an interesting one. Pardon me. That's obviously all the previews and sort of lineup guys that are being posted in my chat sort of say that Salah will start, which is nice. I think Klopp came under a bit of heat for taking off Salah in that game. I think he was just trying to be a bit of a showman. Like, look, I'm looking after player welfare. As Tierney rolls through here, Bamiyang and easily covered by Aurier, being a bit of a showman, saying no, I've got to take him off player welfare and all that. But realistically, he should have left him on the pitch. As Son gets in a bit of space here, go on, Sonny boy. As Kane, oh my word, that is unbelievable. I mean, I'll take the assist. I will happily take the assist. Fair play. Son x Kane. My word. The Spurs fans absolutely buzzing. Son x Kane. Son x Kane. Unbelievable. What a partnership. What a partnership. My word. Who's going to get 3 bonus points? Probably Kane. I wouldn't be surprised. Although I think Sonny Boy gets a few from the gets a little bit of a bonus from the clean sheet, doesn't he? So that's always nice. Just they're getting dominant. It's just so clinical. You know, they just always look when they go through like they're gonna score. It's like when Son picks the ball up there. There are very few players in the league. When they put the ball up in that position, I'm thinking, yeah, they're going to do something. He's going to score. He's going to create a fantastic opportunity, as he did there. And as soon as Kane picks that ball up from the pass from Son, you're just like, there's no way he misses. It's a difficult shot that he makes look unbelievably easy with the power he gets with that left foot of his. That is just absolutely absurd. And Arsenal just look lost. They genuinely look lost. As the half-time ends, thank you for joining me. I really do appreciate it. I'm gonna go and watch the second half of the North London derby on a bigger screen. I'm literally just watching this on my phone, so I thought, I'll come on here for the first half and then I'll enjoy the second half when things really heat up. A lot of Kane and Son owners, I'm sure, very, very happy with that first half. Probably more than you could have wanted or expected. Maybe some kind of return, but for both of them to get a goal and an assist to each other, they're really chasing down that Frank Lampard and Drogba partnership. But yeah, hope you have enjoyed, and I'll catch you in a bit for a stream probably later on this week, or we'll definitely be doing the deadline stream as well. So I'll see you in a bit. Have a good one.